Hello, everyone. I'm Vincent Martinez, the CEO of Architecture 2030. Congratulations on the 10-year anniversary of the Dallas 2030 District. To Salima and her team and the members of the Executive Committee and the Leadership Council, congratulations. And to the broader membership and community, congratulations on reaching this milestone. It's really amazing to think that it's already been 10 years since the inception of the Dallas 2030 District and over a decade and a half since the start of the 2030 District models. I was fortunate to be one of the initial leaders of the 2030 District movement, helping to start the Seattle 2030 District and then leading the 2030 District's network for its first fledgling years. Of all the initiatives that I've been privileged enough to be a part of over the past 2 decades of my professional career, they've all been collaborations, and the 2030 districts are one of the most collaborative, both in their variation across cities, large and small, but also in the diversity of the local membership and stakeholders. Like many 2030 districts that are thriving, the Dallas 2030 district, I'm sure, has proven itself as a foundational community asset. It aligns stakeholders across the downtown core around clear and consistent performance targets, as well as fosters communications and peer-to-peer education to support these goals. Now, I often refer to Architecture 2030 as a seeding organization. Picture Johnny Appleseed out there throwing 2030 seeds to the wind. And these seeds sometimes find fertile soil and grow roots. The 2030 districts were one of those saplings, already provided initial support, like a little stick next to the sapling to brace it as it grew. But quickly, along with other 2030 districts, these saplings grew and helped to form a mutually supportive structure. The stick was removed a long time ago, and each district is now firmly rooted. Not only some are starting to flower and fruit on their own, producing seeds of propagation. Now, I remember once talking to a 2030 district leader that was going through some financial difficult times with their local component. And I told them that if they were truly providing an essential service to the community, if their stakeholders and members saw value in what they were receiving, as well as what they were giving to the 2030 district, that it would find a way not just to survive, thrive. And I venture that the Dallas 2030 district has proven its value to your local community, and that after 10 years, you're more than just a set of targets, more than just a monthly meeting or a set of continuing education credits. Rather, you've really been a collaborative effort, a network that is moving the needle by motivating each other. And you are moving the needle. I'm proud to report a real success story. Since 2005, the US building sector has added 70 billion square feet of new buildings. It's the equivalent of adding 44 cities the size of Chicago. And at the same time, while we've added all that growth, we've reduced building energy consumption for operating emission by 8.2%. And greenhouse gas emissions from building operations have decreased over that same 20-year period by 31.2%. So collectively, thanks to more efficient building codes, building energy upgrades, and thoughtful building management, we've decoupled growth of building floor area from building operating energy consumption. And due to the proliferation of renewable energy on the electricity grid, we are tracking to meet our emission reduction goals in this subsector of the built environment. And the Dallas 2030 district is certainly part of that success story. Now, I know there is a lot of instability and uncertainty in the world right now, and I know that folks sometimes feel tired and tapped out and question if our efforts are enough. This work is as difficult as it is rewarding. But I want you to be uplifted and inspired about how far we've come. And you've seen that success story, and also be resolved and rededicated to far we have left to go. We may sometimes feel that we're climbing a mountain, that we're only halfway to the top. We look behind us and we reflect on the great distance that we've traveled and look uphill to the summit where the distance we still have yet to travel to the precipice. But I don't believe we're hiking up a mountain. I think rather we've been climbing a teeter-totter, and now we're reaching a fulcrum. We're getting very close to a tipping point that will rush in opportunities of economics of scale, system change, social movements, and that teeter-totter will tip forward and we will rush towards our destination with the help of gravity and the inertia that brought us to this moment. Now is the time to invest in our future. Now is the time to double down and expand on our commitments. And we must all contribute in every way possible to tip the scales of change and realize the promise and reward of our shared vision. So again, I'd like to thank you and congratulate you on this milestone. And I'm really excited to see all the things you'll do in the years ahead.